Hello and welcome. My name is Ariane Ross. I am a storyteller and the executive director of Story Tapestries. Today we're going to go on a trip around the world. In order for us to be able to go on this trip, we have a lot to do. I did ask locally in our county if whether or not I could land an airplane and just go pick people up so we could actually travel. And I was told absolutely under no circumstances right now at this time could I do that. So that's when I realized I needed everybody's help. Now I know one of our young friends who's joining us, you have helped me create an airplane before, so we are going to create another airplane so that we can travel around the world. I need everybody's help. Please unzip your brain. Zip. I want you to unhook your brain. Reach inside, grab a little piece of your imagination. Don't take out the whole thing, just a little bit. Slap it on your hands. Stretch your imagination. Stretch it. Stretch it and slip it. I take your imagination, turn it into a round ball. Hold that ball high above your head. On the count of 3, we're going to throw our imagination into this room. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Captain Ross. I'm captain this here airplane. I need everyone please to buckle your seatbelts, buckle your seatbelts. On an ordinary airplane, it's normally the pilot that has the steering wheel. I need everyone please to put your hands around your airplane steering wheel. Put your hands around your airplane steering wheel. On the count of 3, we are going to take off for our first destination, India. Now, I know that we have traveled to India before, but we are going to get to meet a friend of mine. His name is Sanjay. Are we ready, please? If you wish to unmute yourself or make loud airplane noises, you are welcome to do that. Are you ready, please? 1, 2, 3. Whoa, I think we've made it. Because everywhere I look, there are tall, tall trees. And hanging from the trees are a whole lot of monkeys. If you want, you can make monkey noises with me. Ready? Ooh, 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 ooh. Put your hands together like this. Because slithering on the ground are a whole lot of snakes. And of course, we've got big trunks and big floppy ears. Those are elephants. Ready? And flying from the sky, you have a whole lot of birds. A long, 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 long time ago, on the edge of that very jungle, there lived Sanjay. Now, Sanjay was loved by everyone in his village. Sanjay had a very special job. Every day he would wake up as the sun was rising in the sky. He would stretch his arms up. He would wash his face. He would get dressed. He would eat his breakfast. He would pack his bag. He packed his bag full of gold rings, gold bracelets, gold necklaces, and gold earrings. He packed that bag full up. He would tie that bag up, throw that bag around his back. He would tie that bag around his waist. He would tie that bag around his head. And just as he was leaving his house every single day, he would turn and he would give his son a kiss. That particular morning, his son said to him, Papa, 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 tomorrow is my birthday. You have to promise to be there tomorrow. Beta, I will be there. You know I have to work and then I will be there in the evening. Papa, Beta. And then he gave his son a great big hug and he turned and walked out of the house. Now there's something you have to know about Sanjay. He's a bit of a klutz. So he liked to make music, and his music would normally sound like this. But when he would walk, it sounded like this. He would walk and fall and walk and fall and walk and fall and walk and fall. He was a total klutz. It would look like this boom, boom, boom. Well, this particular day was no different. He was walking and walking, and then he fell. He looked up at the sky in the middle of the jungle. Why I always gotta fall. But this day, the sky responded. The sky responded with, help! Sanjay thought, oh, this is strange. Where did it come from? And he started to run. He ran and ran and ran, and then he fell. It was a good thing he fell, though, because right in front of him was a gigantic hole. He looked down inside that hole. Inside that hole, there was a tiger, a snake, and a mean-looking man. Are you gonna help me or not? Well, Sanjay wasn't sure he was gonna help that man. And then the snake spoke. Please help. Please. Oh, I don't know. You could bite me. Should I help him? That's when Sanjay realized he probably should. He grabbed a vine and he threw it down that hole. If you want to help me out now, he began to pull and boom, out popped that snake. Why, thank you. Bahut shukriya. If you ever need anything, just call out my name. It's Snake. But do not help that man down there, for he is not very nice. Sanjay looked down. The tiger spoke next. Please help. Please. Oh, I don't know. You could bite me. You could hurt me. Oh, should I help? And that's when Sanjay realized he had to. He had a great big heart. He couldn't leave someone, even an animal, down inside a hole. He grabbed a vine and he threw it into the hole and he began to pull. He pulled and he pulled and boom! Out popped the tiger. Why, thank you. I much appreciate your help. If you ever need anything, just call out my name. It's Tiger. Oh. Sanjay looked down inside that hole. And just as the tiger was leaving, he said to him, but do not help that man down there, for he is not very nice. The mean man spoke. I asked you, are you gonna help me or not? I mean, you helped the other two. What are you going to leave me, a fellow human, down inside that hole? That's not very nice. I mean, really unbelievable. I mean, I would expect more from you. I mean, I am just like you. You should help me. Should I help him? What do you think? Should I help him? Oh, I don't know. I know you're saying no, but I can't leave him in the hole. I've got to. Sanjay grabbed a vine and he threw the vine down inside that hole and he pulled. The man was really heavy, so he pulled hard. And out popped the man. You got my clothes dirty. And he turned and walked away. Sanjay paid him no mind. He picked up his favorite instrument and he played as he walked all the way without falling to the king's palace. When he got to the king's palace, he laid out his favorite quilt. He put that quilt on the ground. I'll show you my favorite quilt. This quilt is over 100 years old. He laid that quilt down and he laid out all his gold jewelry. He sold everything that day. Gold necklaces, gold bracelets, gold rings, gold earrings. Everything was sold. And by the time he got home, his son was asleep. He was tired himself. He almost fell asleep standing up. It looked like this. He woke up at the start. He looked around. He knew it was his son's birthday. He had to go to the market just for a little bit, only a half a day, and then he would be back. So he got up, he got dressed, and he went out to eat his breakfast. And his son was there. Baba, 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 today is my birthday. Beta, I'll be home by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at the latest. Sanjay started to walk. Of course, immediately he fell. He thought about it. How could he get to the king's palace faster? And then he remembered the tiger. He cried out, Sherji. Sher means tiger in Hindi. Sherji. See if you can say it with me. Ready, everyone? Sherji. He looked around. The tiger didn't come. And then he heard what sounded like 1,000 feet. And then it stopped. There was a huge tiger in front of him. It was his friend. Oh, Tiger, thank you so much for coming. I was wondering if you could do me a favor. Are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong? Can I help you? Yes, I was wondering if you would take me to the king's palace. That's what you need me for? I know that seems silly, but today is my son's birthday, and I really want to be home fast. Can you do it? Okay. But while you're going to the king's palace, could you do me a favor? Yesterday, the king's carriage was coming through the jungle right past my home, and a diamond fell off, and I don't want any trouble. Could you bring it back to the king? Why, of course. I would be happy to do that. The tiger handed Sanjay the diamond. Sanjay climbed on the tiger's back, and they went all the way to the king's palace. When they stopped in front of the king's palace, Sanjay got a little bit nervous. What if he dropped the diamond? What if he tripped? What if the diamond cracked? This was a terrible idea. He started to walk. He started to be really, really careful. He walked all the way up to the king's throne room. He knocked on the door of the king's throne room, and the door opened up. And who do you know it but the mean man was standing behind the door. What's that you have in your hand? Oh, good. I'm so glad it's you. Do you remember yesterday the tiger that was in the hole with you? Maybe. Well, I was wondering if you see, hold on. The tiger, the king dropped this diamond, and the tiger wants me to bring it to the king, and I just want to hand it to the king, and I want to go, and I want to do my job, and then I want to go home. So if you could just, this is taking too long. So could you hurry up? Follow me. Would you follow him? Would you follow the mean man? Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't follow the mean man either. Well, let me tell you, but Sanjay, he's a big heart. He was positive nothing was going to happen. He followed behind the mean man. He went all the way to where the king was sitting. Where did you get that diamond? The king said. I got the diamond. Well, it's hard to explain, but yesterday I pulled a tiger out of a hole, and I pulled your guard out of the hole too. And so what's really simple is that I pulled them out of the hole, and I know this is gonna sound strange, but there was a tiger also in the hole, and I got a ride with the tiger today to the king's palace, and he gave me this diamond to give to you. A diamond was given. You got a diamond from a tiger. Really? You expect me to believe that? Well, kind of, because I really do. I mean, I please, I have to get home. I have things to do. It's my son's birthday. Well, I give you one night to tell me the truth. I am telling you the truth. This diamond came from a tiger. The tiger found it in the forest. He told me to give it to you. The king didn't believe him. The king took Sanjay to a room, and in that room, Sanjay had to wait. He thought about his friend, the snake and the tiger. Snake, he cried out. Tiger, Sherji. Within moments, there was only silence as a response. And then he heard what sounded like 1,000 feet. And then he heard what sounded like the knocking on a door. He waited. He had a feeling he knew what it was. He heard the sound of one set of feet coming up the steps. He felt the door to the room he was in open. He saw the guard, the mean man, grab him and pull him all the way down to the front gates of the palace. The king was standing there, and just beyond the king were 20 tigers and 20 snakes. Okay, he's here. You can take him and you can go, said the king. I will take Sanjay with me when you say the right words. I don't need to say anything. I am a king. You just take Sanjay and you go. I am waiting. Okay, fine. Just, I'm sorry. Me maaf karo. Me maaf karo. Sanjay looked at the king, and he nodded his head, and he reached up to give the king a great big hug. It's okay. I understand not believing me. And he reached out and he gave the mean man a great big hug. I'm sorry you're having such a bad day. And then Sanjay witnessed the king do something he never expected. The king snapped both his fingers and told Sanjay to wait. The mean man looked at him in shock and surprise. The mean man ran to the king's treasury and brought back a small box. In that box there were 3 little diamonds. Here, you take it. Sanjay looked at it. He climbed onto the tiger's back, and the tiger took him all the way home. He arrived at 12:30 p.m., just a little past half day. When he got there, his son was so excited he could barely imagine life getting any better than this. His papa, diamonds, and a tiger. The tiger let the little boy ride all over the village before he let him go, and he went off on his way. Sanjay said that was the best and the worst birthday his son had ever experienced. My friends, take your hand like this, bring that first story to a close. Give yourselves a big round of applause, a pat on the back. My friends, we are going to travel from India to Brazil. Now, I know that some of you have heard several stories from Brazil before. This is one of my favorite stories. This story has monkeys in it. Now, if you like monkeys, show me by making a monkey body posture. Show me that monkey. I have to admit, I really like monkeys. Now, these monkeys, they're pretty silly. So let's grab our airplane and go visit with them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please buckle your seatbelts, Put your hands around your airplane steering wheel. On the count of 3, we are going to take off for our first destination. Well, our second destination, I apologize for that error. The Amazon rainforest. Ready? Count with me, please. 1, 2, 3. Oh! We've made it. Because once again, hanging from the trees are a whole lot of monkeys. And there were snakes too. I don't know if you know this, but in the Amazon rainforest, you can actually find flying snakes. If you don't believe me, type into Google flying snakes and you will see. Now, they don't have wings. It's not that. What it is, if you take your arm like this, and this is the branch, and you take your arm like this and you be the snake, right? What the snakes will do in the Amazon is to leverage themselves off of a tree branch. They will actually pop their body, and aerodynamically, they will just wiggle their way through the air to land on another branch. Look it up and you will see flying snakes. It's pretty amazing. But this story is not necessarily about flying snakes, nor is it about the fabulous toucans you can find in the Amazon. It's about a family of monkeys. A long time ago, there lived a family of monkeys. They lived at the very top of the Amazon rainforest in the canopy. And it rained a lot. I mean, it wasn't just a light rain. It was like this. Oh, oops. Ready? It was drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. All the time. How many are now with your hands and your voice ready? Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Just like that. Every single night. One night, one of the monkeys said, "It's so cold up here." A second monkey said, "I'm so wet." A third monkey said, "Tomorrow, I have an idea. We should build ourselves a house." Well, the next morning, as the sun rose in the sky, the monkeys climbed down. Ouch, 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 ouch. They got to the very bottom of the tree. They looked around and they forgot immediately. It ran right out of their brain. They forgot what they were supposed to do. They looked around and they saw all those tree branches and those bananas. They started to play. They began to sing a song. If you can, help me out now. Jump, jabba, jabba. Swing, jabba, jabba. Play, jabba, jabba. all the day long. Ready, help me please. With a jump, jabba jabba, swing, jabba jabba, play, jabba jabba, all the day long. Until about noon, their song became jump, jabba jabba, swing, jabba jabba, play, jabba jabba, eat, jabba jabba, all the day long. Until about 2 o'clock, one of the monkeys went, oh no, we're supposed to build our house. So they started to sing their song, jump, jabba jabba, swing, jabba jabba, play, jabba jabba, eat, jabba jabba, build, jabba jabba, all the day long. Until the sun started to set. As soon as the sun set, they knew it was time for them to go up. You see, at night when the sun sets, that's when the jaguar comes out. And monkeys and jaguars don't get along. When the jaguar came out and let out a gentle roar, a really quiet roar. See if you can make a quiet roar. Those monkeys started to climb up their tree. Ouch, 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 ouch. They got to the top just as the rain fell. Drip, drop. The rain was falling and falling and falling and falling and falling. In the middle of the night, it started to become a storm. It was ready again. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Drip, drop, drip, kaboom. Just like that. When the rain was at its peak, the monkeys were cold and wet. They looked down. They saw they managed to build one wall. It took them 5 days to finish their house. 4 walls, 4 days, and the 5th day for the roof. At the end of the 5th day, they looked at their house. They realized they had a problem. They built their house on the ground. They couldn't live on the ground because of the jaguar. They had to manage to lift their house up. The snakes tried. The monkeys tried. There weren't enough of them. And then they remembered the toucan. They cried out, toucan. But even help me out now, please. Toucan. And the toucans came. And they came and they lifted that house up. And they put that house into the trees. And they tied that house once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. When they were done tying that house in, the animals went inside. And when the rain started up again, one of the monkeys said, it's so warm in here. The second monkey said, it's not raining. And finally, when it was time to sleep, the third monkey, the papa monkey, put blankets of grass over top, and they all rested. Friends, take your hands like this, bring that story to a close. Give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. It's time for us to travel north. We need to go from Brazil all the way to Mexico. Now in Mexico, they don't speak Hindi like the first story. They don't speak Portuguese like the other story. They don't speak. What language do they speak? They speak Spanish. And it is, hold on one second, friends. They speak Spanish. So it is time for us to travel. Are we ready? Put your hands around your airplane steering wheel. On the count of 3, we're going to take off for our last destination. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've made it. We are in a farm. A long, 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 long time ago, a little chicken was born. His name was Maria Poito. He had 1 wing and 1 leg. His mama, though she loved him so much, every day she would give him pecks in the cheeks, pecks in the cheeks, pecks in the cheeks, pecks in the cheeks, all the time. Mati Poito, he had a favorite phrase. He liked to say, yo quiero. He would say that all the time. Yo quiero, 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 all the time. He would sing, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero. And then sometimes he would sing, oh no, 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 no. Oh, see, 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 all the time. Sometimes his mama would say to him, Mati Poito, please stop saying yo quiero and singing no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Mama, come on. Yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero, yo quiero. Sometimes she would just give him whatever he was asking for, just so he would stop. He would give her a headache. But the Abuito, though, he loved his mama. One day when he was old enough, he said to his mama, Mama, I am old enough, I am wise enough, and it is time for me to go get a job. It is time for me to go see the king and the queen. Madia Boito, you are a little tiny chicken. How are you going to go see the king and the queen? Mama, I am old enough, I am wise enough, and it is time. She could not dissuade him. She gave him a peck on the cheek. She packed him a little bag, and he turned and he hopped away. It sounded like this. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Everybody help me out now, please. Ready? With your hands, you can go like this. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. About a mile into his adventure, he got a little tired. He leaned against a tree and he fell asleep. He looked around. In the middle of his nap, he heard a voice. The voice was crying out, Ayúdame! When the Abuito looked around, he looked to the left. Nada, nothing. He looked to the right. Nada, nothing. He looked up. Nada, nothing. He looked down. He saw it was fire. And the fire was calling out, Ayúdame! No, 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 no. Fire is dangerous. No, 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 no. Mao. This is a bad idea. No es importante. This is not important. It is time for me to go. So he hopped away. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. After a little while, though, he was tired. He hadn't gotten his full nap. He laid down against the tree. He woke up again. He heard a voice that was crying out, Ayúdame! Madia Puito looked around. He looked down. Nada, nothing. He looked up. Nada, nothing. He looked to the right. Nada, nothing. He looked to the left. He looked and he saw the water. He saw there was a branch blocking the water. The water was crying out, Ayúdame! Maria Puito thought to himself, no. If I lift that branch, it will flood the area and I will drown. This is a bad idea. Mau idea. No es importante. And he hopped away. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Help me out now, please. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. Tippy tappy, tippy tappy, tippy tappy tap. He hopped away. But as I said before, he didn't get his full nap. He got interrupted twice. He thought, all right, that's it. One more time, I'm trying. He woke up with a start again. He heard a voice crying out, Ayúdame! He looked to the left. Nada, nothing. He looked to the right. Nada, nothing. He looked down. Nada, nothing. He looked up. Now, he was a little chicken, so a bush seemed really tall to him. He looked up and he saw the bush, and he saw that the wind was getting stuck in the bush. He knew this he could do. He used his beak to help the wind release. Muchas gracias, the wind said, as Medea Prito hopped off. When he finally stopped hopping, he was right in front of the king's palace. He knew what he had to do. He had to find the king. He yelled out, "Bark, bark, 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 bark," which translation from chicken to English means, "Excuse me, I am here to see the king. I am here for a job. I am here to be the king's alarm clock." No one understood chicken, though. No one, except for a man. He stuck his head out a window and he looked down and he saw the chicken and he said, "Chicken. I like chicken." Now you can guess who this man is. He had on his head a white cap. He had on his body a white apron. He was a chef. He looked at it and said, "I like chicken." He picked the chicken up. He put the chicken in a pot, feathers and all. He put water on. He turned the fire on. The chicken thought, "This is not good. This is really bad. Mama, Papa." They were far away. He felt the fire. He cried out, "Fogo!" But the fogo said nothing. "Agua!" The water said nothing. "Oh, this is bad," Maria Puito said. And then he saw a face. Actually, it was two faces. And they had on their heads golden crowns. It was the who and the who. The Raja and the Rani. The king and the queen. Sanjay looked down. Then he looked up. He saw the king and the queen and he knew what he had to do. He told the king and the queen, "Bark, bark, 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 bark. I am here to be your alarm clock, my good sir." The king and the queen did not understand chicken. They just saw this feathered chicken in their pot of soup. The queen lifted the chicken out. She opened the door. She said, why? We have to keep this man as our chef. He is terrible." And she put the chicken outside. Now, as everybody knows, chickens don't fly, especially chickens with one wing. But this chicken, his feet never touched the ground. He seemed to float. He blew across. He kept blowing and blowing and blowing across the land, through the forest. The wind was carrying him home. But when he got home, the wind did something strange. It deposited Maria Puito right on top of his house. The chicken house, no, the farmhouse. Maria Puito said, excuse me, this is a bad idea. I live down below." But the wind said nothing. "Muchas gracias for taking me this far." He looked down. He saw his mama. He was moving all around because it was a windy day. When the farmer came out, the farmer looked up. He saw Maria Puito and he said, "It looks like today is going to be a windy day." And Maria Puito knew what his job was. His job was to be the weather vane. You can go online and you can search weather vanes all over the world. They look just like Maria Puito, a little half chicken. They say that folk tales and legends are built on a seed of the truth. Perhaps this is true. Perhaps it is not. Take your hands like this, friends. Bring that story to a close. Give yourselves a big round of applause, a pat on the back. It is time for us to go back to Maryland or wherever you're staying. Please buckle your seatbelts. Put your hands around your airplane steering wheel. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! We've made it. I'm back in my house. I'm sitting in my living room. I'm ready. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you all. I'm ready for some lunch. Friends, you have done an amazing job. You have been a phenomenal audience. If you enjoyed today, please let your friends know. We have a show happening on Tuesday for school time friends, other preschools or pre-K classes. And in January, we will have another artist. Bye, friends. Thank you all very, 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 very much. If you are watching on YouTube, we are bringing our live show to a close. Have a great Sunday. And if you enjoyed this show, come back, check out our website. It is time for